I can start my mind ordering.
I'm going to make for the bank. The originals until me and Janet over today. So if you want a paper copy,
How many do you have of this? Then wait. I just want to make it easy for once we have a bigger volume, I can take it. This is my first one. This is my second one.
I can, yeah, okay. Oh. I'm not here. Me and Janet.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I want to walk.
Oh, my finger. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Venice, known as UCOV. My name is Serena Canarelli, and I'm the worship associate for this morning's service. And of course, Reverend Amy Petrie Shaw will be leading the service today. At UCOV, we try to center love and welcome and to journey together in ways that affirm and support one another. You are welcome here, no matter who you are, as long as you are willing to join in this community of support and caring. We are so pleased that you have chosen to be with us today. If anyone is here for the first time, would you mind standing up, raising your hand, standing up? Raise your hand first, stand up. And someone will bring you a mic and you can introduce yourself.
I am Ryan Richardson, and this is my partner, husband, actually, Ryan Smith. And Ryan was the pianist at Port Charlotte for about 18 months. And we are here to support Janet Morrill and Sue Burgess today. So we decided to come down from Ellington.
Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome.
Anyone else here for the first time or the second or third time maybe, and you missed introducing yourself to us? Okay, any Northerners back who want to say hi? And to all of those who are listening to us on streaming on YouTube, welcome and good morning. If anyone Reverend Amy has an announcement today, but I also have a few announcements that I need to read. This is from Eddie. KDS Integrated Piano Academy will be having a piano recital here Saturday, December 14th at 3:30 p.m. They are renting our facility. It will be a children's recital by Heather Bissell, who will be the piano teacher. You are welcome to attend, and there's no charge. Ellen Higdon wants you to know that she's starting either a brush up or play on mahjong or bridge. You can sign up on the Lanai, and that will be starting in January. Now, Amy has a few announcements as well.
I'll make it quick, I promise. Good morning. Good morning. As you guys know, we are at the height of season starting right about now, which means we can't keep doing all the announcements at the start of the service because they last forever and ever and ever. Starting next week, if you have announcements, please email them to Jean Barlow so she can get them on the back of the sheet. Get them to Jean. You can get them to me if you don't know Jean, and I'll get them to Jean. That's Jean. We'll be doing 5 minutes at the start of the service with a board member telling us things we ought to know for this week coming up. So be prepared for that slight shift. We don't want the half an hour announcements. Not that I don't enjoy them with all my heart. Next week after the service, John Van Camp and I are doing a social justice meeting and small program. So I'm going to be talking for a few minutes, and then John will be talking, and then we'll all be talking. So please join us next week, right after the service. My last announcement, Linsa Roggenberg is putting together a group to discuss the book On Tyranny. If you have not read On Tyranny yet, you can pick it up for $11, $12. It is really good, really, really good, especially in today's political climate. She'd like to meet tomorrow from 2 to 3 in Waters Hall to kind of form the group and decide, is it going to be a book club? Is it going to be a discussion group? What's it going to be? If you have any interest at all, show up tomorrow, help with the formative meeting. It's going to be an interesting study, and you want to read On Tyranny. In today's climate, you really want to read it. And that is all the announcements I have. I'm turning it back over to you.
That's a very well-known book. Wayne, please come up and talk about the auction.
Good morning. My name is Wayne Lucigi, and I've got the honor of being the chair of the auction committee. The auction. So it's scheduled for January 24. That's a Friday. It'll start at 4:30, and it will not be here. It will be at the Bird Bay Clubhouse. And the reason for this has got a lot to do with space. Their clubhouse is twice the size of this building. It will make for a much more comfortable evening for everybody. The committee actually met there earlier this week, and they're providing all of the tables, small circular tables and square tables for people to comfortably sit. We have enough tables and chairs for 121 people. And we're hoping to get a crowd of that size. It also affords much more space for particularly the silent auction tables, so people can easily navigate through those tables as they make their silent auction bids. So I'd like to thank Donna Jewett, who's responsible for getting us that space. Thank you so much, Donna. So there are two ways you can start getting involved now. One of them, and probably the more important one, is to fill out one of these forms. It's a donation form, whether it's a service or some artwork or some jewelry. We're trying to limit the number of physical items, again, because of space. What can you do for a service? Well, if you come after church out to the lanai, either Mo or myself will be there, and we've got all sorts of ideas for you. The one in my hand happens to be the most recent one from Lisa. She's donating a 1-hour performance on her keyboard, or your piano if you have it, in your home at a mutually agreeable date. So thank you, Lisa, for that. The other way you can get involved is it's going to be hearty hors d'oeuvres. And there is a sign-up sheet if you could look that over and see if there's something you can create. And we're really talking more like finger foods, but we've got some specific things. Michelle Green is heading up that. So thank you in advance for all getting involved in this wonderful endeavor. Thank you.
We are now entering into a sacred space. Please silence all your electronics that you have with you today. I'm going to do the chalice lighting. D.D. Artner writes, "Judging is giving too much value on the surface and missing the value beneath. May the light of our chalice always shine on the value below each surface." Prelude.
All right. Good morning again. We okay? All right. I'm Reverend Amy, and I am so glad to see each and every one of you here today. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? You know, a few years ago, my first year here, we did a service about seeing beauty as a spiritual practice and allowing it to bring wholeness to life. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the other side of that coin. The culture we are in tells us that appearance is sure important. So how do we move beyond the surface of life and focus on the things that matter the most? How do we search for personal and religious depth and meaning in a culture where what you look like, your weight, your disability status, your physical ability, your color, where all those things impact us and everyone else? How do we find real beauty and refuse to see only our wonderful decorations and surface perfections or imperfections? Where's the truth under all the makeup and the hair dye? And today I'd have to say all the Snapchat filters. But as I said, it's a beautiful day, and we're going to explore these questions together, so come and let us worship. Please rise in body or spirit as you are willing and join in singing our opening hymn, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Well, you will be happy to know that this month our designated offering goes to Laurel Civic Association. Yay, we like Laurel Civic Association. So if you want to put on the memo line, Laurel Civic Association, if you're writing a check. As always, our offering words are given with levity because giving should never hurt. A small UU church had lost their minister, and desperate to get a good one, the search committee went to the minister store. Now, the minister store has 7 floors. The higher the floor, the better the minister. The one rule is that once you've gone up a level, you can't come back down. So the committee goes to the store, they come in on the first floor, and they start looking around, and there are ministers everywhere. Some are droning on dully, others are rattling off sermons in rapid-fire fashion, and a sign on the wall says, well, they don't steal or bite. Oh no, said the committee, let's go to 2. On 2, it's almost as bad, and the sign says, honest, not totally dull. Oh no, they say, and they get back in the elevator. 3, decent speaker, honest, usually friendly. We get up to 4, and the sign says friendly, good speaker, honest, loses their notes often. Wow, said the committee, we're getting closer. On 5, it says great speaker, friendly, honest, organized, charismatic. And they say, well, we're almost there. We got to see 6. They go up to 6, and the note says, honest and engaging, funny and organized, amazing speaker, friendly, charismatic, loves pets and babies, great fundraiser. And the committee pauses for a long moment. It's not enough. And they run to the elevator as fast as they can. And on the 7th floor, the doors open into a bare room. And there's a sign on the wall. And it says, some people are never satisfied. Given that you retrieved me from floor 6, let's show a little gratitude this morning, and the morning's offering will now be given and gratefully received. Thank you all so much, not just for these gifts, but for everything you do for this community. You are so appreciated. Because it's as a community of human hands and human hearts that we come together here to bear witness and minister to one another as we struggle with life's sorrows and celebrate life's joys. Before or during the service, at any other point, you're welcome to come forward, light candles on the candle table. During this part of the service, we will light them for you. At this time of sharing, you can raise a hand. Someone will bring you a microphone. We only ask that you share briefly and only those stories that are yours to tell.
I'll be fast. I heard from Lisa Willott this morning, and she is in the hospital. She has some knee problem, and she asked me, it is mine to tell, that tell everybody hello, and she wishes she could be here, and she hopes to be done with her surgical procedure and on the mend pretty soon.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Julie Johns, and I came here 8 years ago. Welcome to the new members. I hope you make as many friends, dear friends, as I did. I will be leaving next week to go back to the Northland just to show you how crazy I am. I'm going to Minnesota in January. But family calls, and it's been a delightful, I see people that are going to make me cry. It's been delightful to know you, and thank you so much for all you've shared with me. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I have a sorrow to share. I'm Hector Malave, and my brothers and I were raised by so many aunts and uncles that I lost. You know, everybody always gets shocked how many cousins and uncles and aunts I have. Well, one of these very special women just passed away suddenly this morning. So my cousin called me and all that, and her name is Leidita. We, in Puerto Ricans are famous for using diminutives for even a 90-year-old grandmother, or whatever. So, but anyway, so she was a very special person because she was the first adult who acknowledged for my brother and I that we were gay. So she was fun, and she loved to drink, and she loved to eat, and she loved, and my cousin Brenda, who I'm very close to, is getting ready to go there. So I just ask you to send a prayer to the universe and think of her, Ledita. Thank you.
Got more to the left, too? Go ahead.
Oh, my turn. Hi, I'm Pat Wellington, and I also had a real good friend of Tom's and mine die this week. I hope I don't cry. Cherry Giovanazzo. Joan was her name, but they called her Cherry because her maiden name was Marasciullo. And she was a feisty little Italian-type woman who lived in South Venice, who was so active in the South Venice Civic Association. She ran the pancake breakfast. She was the president for a while, and she will really be missed.
I'm Jean Spitzer, and I was going to share something else, but it occurred to me that within this congregation of friends, that we all experience sorrow, we all experience loss. My brother, younger by about barely 15 months, has been the closest of my siblings, Jamie. And about a year ago, he said to me, with an older sister and brother, we're all closing in, or are in our 80s, who do you think will be the first of us to die? And I chose my sister, who's just... She and I had to share a room growing up. As we grew up and didn't have to live together anymore, honestly, she's a delightful Annie in my life. I call her Dearie. But I did propose Annie, and Jamie said, well, you might be surprised. And I said, well, what? And he said, well, it might be me. Recently, he did send out a rather thorough email to all of us in the family and his extended generations to say that the pulmonary issues that he's had over the last 2 years have evolved to the point that his doctor said to him, I'm not going to give you a timeline, but I'll use those iconic words, put your life in order. And he's dying. I mean, I think that's what he admits. And it's really comforting to be able to stand up and share this with you, because everybody welcomes this into their journey in life. And I'm trying to learn to shift into being joyous that he will no longer be absolutely unable to do anything he wants, even walk. Everything causes him to be short of breath, so he's very limited. So there has to be a peaceful journey that he's experiencing, and he's accepted it and made sure that each of us had to embrace his experience.
Well, this is a real joyful day for Barbara and I, because our son is going to be flying into Sarasota here about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and with his wife Mary, and he hasn't been here for about 2.5 years. We've been Zooming with him every Sunday though, and so but this time they'll be at our house staying with us for a week. So we got plenty of things lined up.
And tomorrow, we're going to have a birthday party for our daughter who's going to be 65, so it's going to be quite the reunion.
Indeed. Thank you.
I just want to say, I don't know who owns the red car with the elf legs hanging out the trunk, but it was so hysterical following you up Pine Brook this morning and see those legs cross and uncross, flipping in the wind.
May the love of this community hold all who need love and concern, and may the light of our community shine on the broken places of the world. May we never look away when we're needed. May those who are grieving be comforted, and those who are tired find rest. May the broken places be healed, and may those who are filled with joy and laughter be abundant. And now we get to do one of the most joyful things we ever get to do, which is welcome our new members. And we started today with 13 to be welcomed. What are we at? 16? We're up to 16. You know, this community could not exist if it were not for the wonderful people who make up the congregation. So today we are formally recognizing 16 new folks who have joined us in beloved community. So for any of the new members who are here and willing, would you please come up and join me as I read your names? We have Bonnie Addison, Lise Carey, Susan Crawford, Diane Goss, Belva and Tony McNair, Kathy and Paul Miller, Janet Morrill, Chris Peterson, Drew Stewart, Marion Sawicki, David Van Antwerp, Patty Walton, Christine Wecklaw, and Lucky Whitaker. All right, big round of applause. And you know, we gather here looking for a higher purpose and a deeper life than we could find alone. And we're so grateful that each one of you has found your way here and have decided to make a commitment to this community. We hope that as a member here, you'll allow yourself to know and be known, to minister to and to be ministered to love and be loved by this congregation. And we never know what combination of fate and friendship and good luck that brings people together in this world. But we believe that membership calls each of us here to celebrate whatever has drawn us together and to regard each one as a spiritual friend and potential teacher, even of occasional hard lessons. As members, we pledge to be guardians of each other's spirits, to respect the ultimate privacy of each one's human struggle, and to believe in each one's inherent dignity.
I'm Ann Harrison, peeking through here, and I'm here today representing the membership committee. As we come together, we recognize that each member contributes to our community, supporting the life and work of UCOV. Together, we make this a vital and dynamic congregation, working for positive change in ourselves and the world.
A member of a Unitarian Universalist congregation makes a free choice to join their life with that of a religious community. If you, standing here with me now, are ready to affirm that choice, please repeat the words listed on the little sheet you've been given. If you're ready, I am ready
Sorry. It is the joy and duty of our congregation to welcome you into this community. Would the members of the congregation please read in unison the words of covenant and welcome included on the sheet in your order of service?
I believe it's on the back. We welcome you among us and invite you to join us in the life and work of this community. In the bounds of fellowship and love, we unite to cultivate reverence, to promote spiritual growth and ethical commitment, to minister to each other's needs and to those of humanity, to celebrate the sacred moments of life's passage, and to honor the holiness of community. As symbols of our welcome, we offer you the right hand of fellowship and a small gift, and we are so, so glad you are here. And big round of applause.
Can we have a round of applause to our new members? Yay! The first reading today is from an essay on beauty and judgment by Alexander Nahamis. I didn't know who Alexander Nahamis was, so I felt compelled to look him up. And he is Greek-born, but an American philosopher, and he's a professor of philosophy and comparative literature at Princeton University since 1990. And he has a special interest in aesthetics. So the title is An Essay on Beauty and Judgment. A shared assessment of value has never stopped criticism. On the contrary, if you and I agree that The Magic Mountain is a great novel, we will go on discussing it in greater and greater detail, often disagreeing precisely about what is great about it. And if agreement on value is not the end of criticism, we can also see why Kant was right that the judgment of taste is not governed by concepts. That was not because the concept of the beautiful or the nature of the judgment is peculiar, but because, I want to suggest to you, the judgment of taste is simply not a conclusion we draw from interacting with, describing, or interpreting works of art. I want to turn our common picture around, he says. The judgment of beauty is not the result of a mysterious inference on the basis of features of a work which we already know. It is a guess, a suspicion, a dim awareness that there is more in the work that it would be valuable to learn. To find something beautiful is to believe that making it a larger part of our life is worthwhile, that our life will be better if we spend part of it with that work. But a guess is just that. Unlike a conclusion, it obeys no principles. It is not governed by concepts. It goes beyond all the evidence which cannot, therefore, justify it and points to the future. Beauty, just as Stendhal said, is a promise of happiness. We love, as Plato saw, what we do not possess. Aesthetic pleasure is the pleasure of anticipation, and therefore of imagination, not of accomplishment. The judgment of taste is prospective, not retrospective. The beginning, the middle, but never the end of criticism. If you really feel you have exhausted a work, you are bound to be disappointed. A piece that has no more surprises left, a piece you really feel you know inside and out, has no more claim on you. You may still call it beautiful because it once gave you the pleasure of its promise, or because you think that it may have something to give to someone else. But it will have lost its hold on you. Beauty beckons. The choir will be singing now. My favorite song, I might add.
Just want to say while the choir is getting position, this is a song by Libby Roderick, who was this is a song of affirmation, and Libby was one of the founding mothers of the women's music movement of the 1970s.
That
was beautiful. Thank you. Meditation on Opposites by Alex Capitan. This is going to be a little dramatic on my part. Spirit of the universe, life force that flows through all beings, power beyond our knowing. We ask you to help us see beyond our dependence on opposites, to transcend our desire to know who is like us and who is not. Open us to the knowledge that in this room there are complexities and diversities of identities, beyond black and white, old and young, women and men, poor and rich, uneducated and educated, able and disabled, gay and straight, ill and healthy, wrong and right, broken and whole. In this room, there are people who embody juxtapositions, who can tell stories written on their bodies about both and neither, who carry intimate pieces of the truth that there is no such thing as opposites. Spirit of many names and of no name at all, help us find release from our belief that all things must be either or. This belief that walls us off from one another, ensnaring us in a battle of same versus different. Help us to open our minds to deeply listen and to truly know one another, finally glimpsing the kaleidoscope beauty of the divine. Please join me in 1 minute of thought, meditation, or prayer. Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. The second reading are thoughts about beauty from many voices. So I'm going to run through these. We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. Maya Angelou. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. Helen Keller. You are imperfect, permanently and inevitably flawed, and you are beautiful. Amy Bloom. We are cups, constantly and quietly being filled. The trick is knowing how to tip ourselves over and let the beautiful stuff out. Ray Bradbury. Beauty is only skin deep, but ugly goes clean to the bone. Lauren Oliver. Beauty is not in the face. Beauty is a light in the heart. Kahlil Gibran, my favorite. Our wounds are often the openings into the best and most beautiful part of us. David Riccio. People are like stained glass windows. They sparkle and shine when the sun is out, but when the darkness sets in, their true beauty is revealed only if there is a light from within. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. And she has something else to say. The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. Sorry. These persons have an appreciation, a sensitivity, and an understanding of life that fills them with compassion, gentleness, and a deep, loving concern. Beautiful people do not just happen. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. To be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You need to accept yourself. Thich Nhat Hanh, many of us know him. It is time for parents to teach young people early on that in diversity, there is beauty and there is strength. Maya Angelou. The flower that blooms in adversity is the rarest and most beautiful of all. Mulan. The ability to see beauty is the beginning of our moral sensibility. What we believe is beautiful, we will not wantonly destroy. John Constable. Two more. It's the beauty within us that makes it possible for us to recognize the beauty around us. Joan Chittister. And if you try to view yourself through the lens that others offer you, all you will see are distortions. Your own light and beauty will become blurred, awkward, and ugly. Your sense of inner beauty has to remain a very private thing. John O'Donohue. I want the choir to come up. Yes. And I wore black just coincidentally today, not what these ladies are doing.
So I asked for volunteers from the women. This is a song that's dear to me. I've sung in groups large and small in Pittsburgh. And throughout our history and to this day, there are groups in our society whose voices have been undervalued, have been silenced. This is a song about a woman finding her voice.
And as I walked along the lane, tears in my eyes. I saw no justice in my world, only the echoes of the cries. I cannot fight, I cannot a warrior be. It's not my nature, nor my teaching. It is a womanhood in me. I am an older woman now, and I will heed my own cries, and I will a fierce warrior be, till not another woman dies. I can and will fight, I can and will fight, I can and will a warrior be. It is my nature and my duty. It is a womanhood in me. I can and will fight, I can and will fight, I can and will a warrior be. It is my nature and my duty. It is a sisterhood in me.
Please rise in body or spirit, and let's join in singing number 95, There Is More Love Somewhere. John Constable writes, "The ability to see beauty is the beginning of our moral sensibility. What we believe is beautiful, we will not wantonly destroy." Wow. What we believe is beautiful, we will not wantonly destroy. And I thought about how I react to spiders and things with 8 legs. Things that I see are ugly to me. And my first reaction is what? What we believe is beautiful, we don't wantonly destroy. In 2016, activist and model Ebony Davis wrote, "A celebration of true beauty is a celebration of life. It's a celebration of freedom and the right to be who you are without fear of being judged. It's a celebration of authenticity and uniqueness." You are not often told things like, "It's okay to like your funny-shaped feet. It's okay to be in love with the way your hair sticks out in a strange pattern and makes you look like a dandelion. It's okay to love the body you are in, no matter what that body looks like." There are over 8 billion people on this planet who all deserve to live in love and peace and hope, and to not be judged negatively for what they look like, who deserve not to be wantonly destroyed for their personhood. Appreciating beauty helps you make the world more whole. And according to Constable, appreciating beauty helps to keep you from killing one another. Beauty matters. Now, the conventional wisdom that I'm sure many of us heard from our parents is that beauty doesn't matter. It's what's on the inside. It's what's on the inside that counts, and it does. It does. But beauty matters. So what impacts our ideas about what is beautiful? And how important is it that we see ourselves as beautiful? How do we feel about the ones we find alien or different or downright ugly? The gentleman I saw online the other week who has blackout tattoos over most of his body, plastic horn inserts under the skin. He has sharpened his teeth. He has a split tongue. I find his appearance a little unnerving. Just a little. He's got a little baby who adores him. There's video of him playing with his child who's giggling and laughing, and apparently he's the world's best dad. And what it keeps coming back to over and over again is the difference between what is beautiful and what society tells us we're supposed to believe is beautiful. We get bombarded with messages about beauty. And that's even in today's society where beauty can look a lot of ways. We love revisioning what we can look like. We love things like hair dye and tattoos, and those are marvelous. Those are empowering. Those are moving us from a culture that says only short, slender, blonde, white women and tall, manly, white men, those are the only people that are attractive. We're moving beyond that. We're not quite there perfectly yet. This should be a golden moment. But we have a lot of missteps. Meghan Trainor is a vocalist. Some of you may have known her song, All About the Bass. I hear some giggles for those of you who remember it. It's a hymn to finding girls with wider assets attractive. It's a modern day recreation of more sexist songs like Queen's Fat Bottom Girls or Sir Mix-a-Lot's I Like Big Butts. But that one was written by a woman. who said, "I have the right to be beautiful the way I am." Nicki Minaj celebrates her larger form. They're working to expand a definition of conventional beauty to include larger women and women with darker skin. Lindsay King Miller wrote an article called "Taking Beauty Out of Body Positivity." She said even the companies, the cosmetics companies, are getting in on this. There was a few years ago when there was a campaign by Dove called Real Beauty. And it was nice when you looked at it, group of different women. The video showed a police sketch artist who drew 2 pictures each for that group of women. One was based on the woman's description of herself, and the other one was based on other people's description. And the stranger's description was always much more beautiful. And the women were amazed that people saw them so beautifully. And it's absolutely heartwarming. But they forget the idea that not everyone is conventionally beautiful. They are based on this idea that there is some standard. Beauty is important. Its appreciation can be a spiritual practice. True beauty, personal beauty, born of wholeness and inner radiance, is important. Now, I don't want you to answer this out loud, but how many times in your life has someone told you that you were beautiful or handsome, and your immediate reaction was, "Oh, no, I'm not"? And how many times have you told someone they looked beautiful or pretty or gorgeous or handsome and had them tell you, "Oh, no, I'm not. I don't believe you, but thanks, I'm really not"? We struggle with a culture that tells us we're supposed to want to be conventionally beautiful or handsome, but when we reach it, if we admit it, we're wrong. We're bragging. There was a wonderful quote. A friend of mine had once said to someone, "You are so gorgeous." And the woman immediately launched into a list of the cosmetics she was wearing. As if my friend was going to ask her to remove them all one at a time and at some point say, "Well, now you look like a baboon's backside." Reverend Meg Barnhouse said they shouldn't call it the beauty aisle, that place with all the makeup. She said, "Call it the decoration aisle." Beauty is all around you, she said. May it be above you and below you. And another question not to answer out loud. Has anyone ever said to you some version of, "I'm not really pretty and I could care less"? Was your first reaction to assure them that they were beautiful? And what did you mean by that? Did you mean you saw them in a deep and spiritual perfection which led you to a moment of wholeness? Don't you dare lie to me. Or did you mean, no, it's okay. You approach our current standard of beauty. You're passing. Opening up conventional ideas of beauty to include people with handicaps and people of color and transgender people and people with natural differences and larger people, it's not wrong. But when are we going to admit, when are we going to fight against the idea that there is any such thing as a standard of beauty? Beauty is for each of us what touches us in the heart, which makes us feel more attuned, which makes us feel more whole. Beauty calls us. There's a marvelous article called The Beauty Bridge, by Gia Tolentino. And she says, such surface level concepts of empowerment push women around each other on the narrow, precarious beauty bridge, rather than suggesting we just howl like animals and jump right off. Being seen as beautiful is not the same as having power. It's not the same as having strength. It's not inclusion. When we are told what to find handsome or attractive or beautiful, our connection to awe and wonder is lessened. When we are denied media representation of all types of bodies and looks, we can't decide what calls us to wholeness because we never see it. Beauty has always been defined by its opposite. There's no way to excise the concept of ugliness from the concept of beauty. We have to deal with that. To be beautiful, Thich Nhat Hanh says, means to be yourself. You don't have to be accepted by others. You have to accept you. And that's the core of it. Conventional beauty isn't important, but pursue it if it makes you happy, if it matters to you as a practice. But do not be defined by it. Recognize that you are somebody with a story and a set of problems and a set of joys. And you don't owe the world physical prettiness as payment for your existence. And you don't owe the world physical handsomeness as some kind of payment for your existence. Life is finite. Do not waste the time you have on appreciating people purely for decorative value. John O'Donohue says, if you try to view yourself through the lenses that others offer you, all you will see are distortions. Your sense of inner beauty has to remain a private thing. So throw away any lens but that of your own heart and embrace beauty that brings you wholeness. Ignore the shallow waters of media dictates because you are deeper than that. Love what you love. There is a river of true beauty flowing through your soul, and it's telling you that you are somebody. Find yourself beautiful, just as you are, or with tattoos and piercings and blue hair. Adorn yourself as you will in a way that makes you feel beautiful. There's a river of beauty flowing through your soul. It's telling you you are somebody. So take a deep breath and listen. You're all beautiful. Amen. Though we extinguish this chalice, may our light shine forever on true beauty in the heart. Please rise in body or spirit as you are willing and join in hymn number 1007. There's a river flowing in my soul.
It's telling
not decoration. See true beauty as it shines from the heart and soul. See it in places that make you whole and complete. See it in the mirror every day. Peace, ashe, and may it be so.